The Powers Project.
Remi, how are you this evening?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's great to have you on the show. I thank you for joining me. You look great, and I understand
Thank
you
you.
just came from a modeling shoot. Is that right?
Yeah. Yep. I went to Boston to go do a photo shoot because I'm trying to get some new promo stuff happening. So
So,
yeah.
to let the folks know, you have your own TV show up in Rhode Island. In fact, you're the only Black female TV host in all of Rhode Island. That's crazy to think, but that's the case, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I'm the only female on the Black television show, not the only
Black
host.
television. Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yep.
Oh, you're the only female on the show.
Well, a host of Black.
Right.
I'm owned, like it's owned. You know what I mean? And I'm the only basically the Black face on television
So
here
you're
in the state.
right. So you're the host of Remi TV, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Hmm.
So tell us, well, first off, how in the world did you get your own TV show? I know people are going to go, how do you do that? And secondly, tell us about your TV show. Like, what do you cover on your show?
Okay. So the first question was how did I get my own TV show, right? So I started off by doing correspondent work for another television show in New York City. So there I was interviewing local talent, but I noticed that there wasn't a lot of people like business owners being interviewed. It was a lot of music, so I wanted to talk to people who I wanted to speak to. So, and also too, in the midst of that, I didn't want to work for someone else. So, I decided to start my own show, and that's how Remi TV began. And how I got my own television show on a network is through pitching. So, I pitched the network, I showed them my previous interviews, and they really liked it and they wanted to pick me up. So they picked up my show on the TV9 network.
So I would imagine to start your own TV show, it's a lot of work and a lot of hustle and a lot of getting out there and talking to people and getting people to know about your show and getting them to know about you. Like this doesn't just fall in your lap and in one day you're Oprah Winfrey without, without
Right.
effort
Yeah.
on your
Yeah.
part.
Yeah, it takes a lot of networking. It takes for you to be in people's faces, which I know it's hard now because of COVID and everything like that. But when I first started, outside was open, there was no COVID happening. So it was easy for me to, introduce myself to people and tell them who I am, what I'm about, and what my mission is, and just build relationships. So once I was able to build those relationships, I was able to learn new things that I never knew before about television, or just learn things about myself that I didn't really notice on camera, just different things that, networking is key. Also, when I first started my show, I had no camera guys, like no, nothing. So I had to do my research. Okay, what are the top things that I needed? So I started off with one camera guy. And I said, listen, you want to work with celebrities and I need a camera person. And I don't have any celebrities yet, but I'm pretty sure I can get some. So he was like, oh, okay. So we collaborated in that type of way. And I managed to gain 3 celebrity interviews within that first month,
Wow.
which was great because it definitely helped me move up the ladder with my show.
Right. So you were talking about when you're pitching this, you're telling people who you are and what your mission is on your show. So who are you? Like, and what is your mission?
Well, my mission is to highlight Black business owners, and just people who doesn't really get the spotlight, because there's a lot of people in the state of Rhode Island, personally, that I know that their businesses are not really making sales. People are not going into their stores. So just listening to those stories, I said, well, I understand where you're coming from, because like I said, if you don't have the time to network or be in people's faces, how are you going to get that customer? Also, if you don't have a marketing budget, how are you gonna let people know about your store if you can't get advertisement space or billboards or different things like that? So I said, let me dedicate my show to the underserved community that really doesn't have the budget to do all these things.
So are you? I'm not going to say you strictly work with businesses, but you said you had celebrities and stuff on. So with the celebrities, do you talk
Yeah.
about Black-owned businesses and things of that nature?
Yeah, if well, the celebrity thing is just something that I want to do, like on the side,
Okay.
So I want my show to be to cover all different topics,
right?
To cover
Okay,
all different things. So, but mostly that's what my mission was for, was to highlight the underserved Black and brown community, and yeah, doing the celebrities is pretty fun. I love doing that. I love getting to know people, and because us as people, we watch them on TV and we don't know what their real personality is like. We don't know if they're nice, we don't know if they're mean, we don't know, so it's pretty cool to sit down and get to learn new things about people, and just seeing them in person and seeing how they talk and real life, just real life stuff. So it's pretty interesting.
so if you could have one person, your most favorite guest, who would you have on the show?
Janet Jackson.
Janet Jackson.
Yep, I would love to have Janet Jackson on my show. I think she's so cool. I think she's dope, like in every way, in every single way.
Right.
Other people that I would want to have on my show, they passed and gone. Like Tupac.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Michael Jackson. But the person that's still here, Prince, is Janet Jackson. So I would love to have her on my show.
That would be very cool. What about Oprah?
Oprah, she's cool. She's cool.
I just thought because she's got her own TV show, that would be a great mentor for you.
She would be an amazing mentor, because there's so many questions that I still have to this day about television that I would love to ask her, even with having her own television network, because that's my 10-year goal, is to have my own television network. And a lot of people have it already. I believe Tyler Perry has his own network. He has his own stuff going on. So I would love to know the in and outs of how does that work.
Yeah, because I think they have their own production companies and stuff, because that's where the real money is. And so, they learn to go, hey, I'm gonna keep more of this money for myself rather than give it all out to everybody else.
Right. Yeah, because I would love to air some indie filmmakers on there, have some of their movies there, just have like local people from all over the world be able to watch that on television, so people would know what's what and where is where, in the world. It's just like when I watch cooking shows and I see this cooking guy somewhere in Chicago highlighting this restaurant in Chicago. It's like, oh yeah, that's awesome. So I would love to do that too, but not with cooking, but with highlighting the business.
Right, exactly. Well, yeah. I don't know how old you are, but you're obviously kind of young, at least compared to me. So, but back in the day when Oprah was, I don't want to say she was at the pinnacle. She was up there. She's probably the top rated talk show. But you had all these other talk shows coming out. You had Geraldo, you had Sally Jesse Raphael, you had Jenny, whatever her name was. You just had a million of them. And they all started taking this turn for the worse, where they were just like trying to have the most volatile guests on their show, to punch each other, to throw things at each other. And even Oprah did that for like a week or two. And I was watching, and what she did, she's like, this isn't me. And she said, I don't want to do this type of TV. And so she stopped and she refused to do it. And that's when she took off. That's when she became the best of the best. She left the rest of them in the dirt, because she didn't go the easy, cheap way. She did what she felt. She trusted her gut and did what was the right thing. And because of it,
right.
Took it off.
Yeah, I'm on the same path as her. I don't do negative media. I don't do any negative interviews. I don't ask the celebrities who they're dating and why they break up. And yeah, I don't like it. You know, I'm all about positivity. So
yeah, there's so much negativity in the world. That's one of the things with my podcast. It's so easy to fall into that trap of just criticizing people and calling people out and just making it negative, because because people gravitate towards that for some reason. But I just go, you know what? If it takes me 3 times longer to make my show successful by doing it the positive way, I'd rather do it that way. I don't want to look back and have regrets. So I'm with you on that. So most people probably don't realize, but it's almost 10 o'clock at night tonight, and you've been out at this shoot. So you must have some really long days. How does that affect, like, because you're building something here, and you have a plan, you have an idea what you want to build. how does that affect your relationships, or do you have any? So
Yeah, so I do have a fiance. And I usually text him and send him pictures and video chat with him during my like 5-minute breaks, or if I'm running around to keep him updated and stuff like that. But one thing that I do is take self-care days. So there's days that I do put things on hold, that I won't do anything, so that I'm able to spend time with family and my significant other, so that we can continue to keep that bond going and keep everything strong. So
that's extremely smart, very smart. I don't think enough people realize how important that is to make time for yourself and for the people that you love.
yeah,
Um,
you have to. Like
yeah.
today was so crazy that it's 10 o'clock now. I didn't even really eat like that. So I have my little oven roasted almonds right here that I was snacking on. But yeah, it's like days like this, I don't even eat. It's so my stomach's growling right now. But yeah, days like this is super crazy for me.
Right. When you first started out and you told your friends and you told family, I'm going to have my own TV show, what was the response that you got from people, from your friends and your family?
Well, my family, they was very supportive. Some of my friends were supportive, some of them wasn't. They said, well, Rhode Island's so small, how are you gonna do that? There's nothing here. There's no entertainment industry. Like, how are you doing that? I said, well, honestly, I feel like anything is possible. I said, you have to open the door, kick down the door, do what you gotta do, make your own way. I said,
Right.
sometimes if there's a road going straight, you gotta build the road going to the right. If somebody's not letting you in the front door, you got to sneak around go through the back door, you
Right.
know?
Exactly. um,
And
did you put
and
this
I was
on
just going to
Facebook?
say,
When you when you
hmm,
when you started your show, did you put it on Facebook by any chance, or on social media? Did you let people know that you had a show?
I let people know what I was planning to do.
Okay.
I say, hey guys, I'm going to be starting my own show. I would love the support. And I didn't get any support. I think I got like two or three likes on it.
Okay, let me ask you this. And then and the people on your social media, I would imagine most of them are friends, correct?
No.
No? So who do you have
Mhm.
on your social media, like on your Facebook, for instance?
I have some friends and family, but majority is like strangers.
Oh, okay. Well,
Hmm.
one of the things I notice is that whenever I watch people put stuff up on their social media apps, and they'll put like, "Oh, I got a job today. I start today, or I start tomorrow. I got the job," and you'll see this person will get a ton of likes.
Hmm.
But the first time someone says, "I started my business today," they get nothing. It's like
It's true.
it's
I
like
don't know why that is. It's weird.
it's almost as if they don't want you to succeed like that. It's like,
Hmm.
oh, who does Remy think she is going to start her own TV show, sort of thing. And
Right. And I
yeah,
never understood that. And I used to be angry for a long time because I was like, why is no one me? How come I'm only getting 10 likes? Not even, I think one share or something like that.
right.
Um, and I never understood it. I was angry and I was so upset with people. And that's when I started to realize, oh, I gotta network with the people who are on the same type of time as me, the other people who have businesses and other people who understand how hard this is. And when I started doing that, I noticed that those people were in sync with me. We was on the
Right.
same type of vibration. They shared my stuff. They liked my stuff. I like their stuff. I share their stuff. And so those are the type of people that I have on my Facebook friends list right now.
That's
It's
great
a lot
because
of business people.
yeah,
Hmm.
because those that's so important, is who you surround yourself with, and not letting those people who claim to be your friends, who won't support you, when they should be supporting you, and yet you have strangers who will support you because they understand you, they're on the same page as you. And
Hmm.
because I don't think people understand, especially probably someone like you in a small state like Rhode Island. I'm sure you had plenty of people trying to stop you from doing what you do. I'm sure they had
Hmm.
excuses as to why you shouldn't do it and can't do it, and they don't want you to do it here.
Hmm. It's all about politics. It's like, you have to be in with the right circle and
Right.
different things like that. And if you're not in the right circle, then yeah, no one's gonna help you. They will close doors on you. I actually had someone that was jealous of what I was doing because a person once tried to do the same thing, and she's older than me, I think in her 50s now. She tried to do the same thing some years ago, I think about 10 years ago, and it just didn't work out. You know what I mean? So when she sees me doing what I'm doing and I rose to the level that I rose, it was like a little bit of envy over there.
Right. Well, because if you come almost too soon, before if you try to do something before the time is ready for it, and then someone after you comes in and does it, it probably does, seem a little like, oh, I missed my timing or something.
Right, right. And I always try to make people feel better too, because I'm the type of person that doesn't mind collaborating. I'm definitely a collaborator. So even if she or he, whoever, would like to have their own segment, and if it's dope, I would say come on board, you know? Or
Right.
how can I help you? At least if this is something you still want to do, how can we do it? What do you need? Because I'm not that type of person that holds information in like tight. For what?
Right.
If I don't need it anymore, why am I holding on to it? Here, you have it. Spread it around. Do what you got to do.
I find that the most successful people do exactly that. They share it freely, like freely.
Mhm.
And they're just the kindest people. They will give their time more than anyone else, and they just continue to be successful. And you find that, Gary Vaynerchuk is a good example. He tells people exactly. He goes, I'm going to tell you what to do for free. He goes, because 99.9% of you aren't going to do anything with it anyway. And so
Yeah, that's right.
and it's true, they won't. So when you can get people who really want to know, and willing to listen to you, and you give it to them free, that just comes back to you, where it makes you even more successful. So it's good that you have
Right.
that type of
And
attitude.
the, and then it also shows if people are going to do the work or not, because I can give you all the information, but are you going to put in the work to do it?
Right.
And if you fail one time, are you going to quit?
That's what
This is not for the weak.
that's how most people go. You're right. It's like if they get pushback even one time, they're like, oh, I'm
Hmm.
done. I can't, it's like there's an obstacle. What do I do? And like you said, you go around it, you go over it, under it, through it, whatever you got to do, but you get past it. And most
Hmm.
people don't have that within them to do that.
No, this industry is not for the weak at all. The weak hearted, you have to have tough skin. You have to have tough skin, especially if you're a female,
I can imagine.
especially if you're a gay male. It's hard.
I can imagine it would be. Yeah. I mean,
Hmm. I've
honestly.
been through a lot of stuff. I've been through, you know, guys telling me that I should bleach my skin lighter in order to fit in with what's happening. I had people tell me that I should do surgery to make my boobs bigger. Like I've been through a lot of stuff with the males in the industry. And
Wow.
this is not for the weak. You really have to have a level head. You have to be strong minded, and you can't let peer pressure knock you over to the other side. Always
Right.
be you and love yourself, and just keep looking forward. And you tell those people, well, you know what? We're not going to work at this time. And don't feel bad about it.
Right. You hit it right on the head. It's all about loving yourself, because once you love
Mm-hmm.
yourself, you don't need validation from anybody else. You,
Mm-hmm. That's
you
right.
you only need it from yourself. And one of the things when you talked about that it can be hard for gay men as well, is that what I find is that they it's almost like there's a stereotype that people expect gay men to act like, and if you don't act like that,
Mm.
then they don't want you. And a fine
Mm-hmm.
example of that is it's Queer Eye, the show Queer Eye. It's
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan Van Ness, who is the most flamboyant gay person on there. He is on everything. The other guys who are more not flamboyant, if for lack of a better word, who are more just, calm and relaxed, and not, fluffing themselves out there, they don't get nearly the attention that he does, because he fits this stereotype that everybody
Right.
wants to see. So, I feel bad for gay guys who just aren't like that and don't fit that stereotype, because they don't get the attention that someone like him will get. And he does it just for that reason.
Right. And I know someone here in Rhode Island, he actually has a podcast. He's amazing. He goes through things like where the straight guys wouldn't want to watch his show because he's gay,
Right.
And it gets him really sad. And I personally don't like it. I think that if a show is good, a show is good, no matter who it's coming from.
I'm going to tell you something, and this is the truth. Most guys who've known me never knew I was gay until I told them. And I know it's not something I tell people unless it comes up in conversation or there's a need for it. But I tell straight guys, you want to learn how to deal with women and know how to treat them, ask a gay guy. He'll tell you how to do it. And if you listen to him, you'll be successful, because they know how to treat women, because they know what it's like to be on the other end of that, and how and how you can and how you should be considerate and thoughtful of others. And gay guys tend to be very much more thoughtful and considerate than straight guys, And so I always tell them, if you want success, listen to a gay guy. So.
I agree with that 100%. 100%.
But so with all the guests that you have on, what kind of guests do you like the best out of all the guests that you have on your show?
That I already interviewed, or who do I personally like? What type of people?
Like, yeah, what makes a great guest for you?
High energy. I love high energy because I'm high energy, and I talk fast sometimes when I get excited. So I'm a high energy person. I would love high energy. I would love people who actually enjoy what they love to do, because I can just feel the passion. I could feel the energy when you're telling me. I can tell when a person is really like, they really don't enjoy what they do. They're just here because they're just here. And they're like, yeah, so this is my business. I'm like, oh, okay.
Right.
So I'm like, tell me about your business. What's going on? Where's it located? What's the email and all this stuff? And they're like, yeah, it's over here. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, he's just not into this. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I don't know how those people ever how they ever expect to be successful. If you're not excited about your business, no one else is gonna be.
Right. I'm like, I'm so excited about your business, and they're just like, yeah, it's cool. I'm like, oh, okay, interesting.
So where do you see Remi TV going in, let's say, the next 5 years?
The next 5 years, I plan on seeing my show at least in the startup process of like building the television network. So I'm going to be doing some more research before I jump into anything, and just make sure I have all my ducks in a row so that I'm able to start the process,
Right. And so your show, it'll continue to help businesses to thrive, and like to teach businesses what they need to do to succeed.
Yes, for sure. And I'm praying that I could just pass the torch down to someone else, an up and coming correspondent. Because once I have the television network, doing this stuff is fun. I absolutely love doing television, but I already know once I hit a certain age, I want to be behind the desk,
right,
signing a check. I want to let the young girls, come up and I pass the torch, because what I've noticed and what I've been through is there's people, that don't want to pass the torch. There's people that want to be selfish and hold on to, like I said, I'm not going to say context, because I don't give out context either, but like advice, or just what door should I go into, or just anything like that. They try to hold on to it, but no, not me. You want to do something? Oh, sure. You want to be a producer? Sure. Come pass the torch. I want to pass the torch to everybody and give out as much information as possible, because I can't take this with me in the grave.
Right.
I feel like my job here on earth is to do God's work. and to be kind to people and to make sure people feel good and to make sure people feel loved, because this world is so chaotic already that we need to spread more love, not hate. So
amen.
I just want to make sure everybody feels good. Like, that's another one of my goals. Just make sure pull people up, pull as many people up as you can possibly get up there, especially from the state of Rhode Island, because it's non-existent. Like, people making it big, or people making millions of dollars, or people making it in the music industry is non-existent right now.
You know, I think people remember your kindness and your generosity more than they do your success. You know, that when we look back on people that we admire, that's what I look at. I go, there's plenty of people out there who've become wealthy and successful, but what did they do with their time and money? How many people did they help along the way? And it's always the people who help others that I always had the greatest admiration for, not just making money. That's not enough.
Right. I think they forget that they gotta die. Like, you're not gonna be 1,000 years old. Help those people. Do what you gotta do. You can't take the money with you in the grave. You can't do it. Give it up. Give it all the way if you have to. If you're 80 years old and you don't know, and you're sick or something, give it away. Take care of your bills, take care of your family, take care of whatever you gotta do, but give it away.
Right.
You can't take it with you.
What is in all your time in doing Remi TV and everything that you've done to get to where you are now, what's something that's surprised you along the way? I mean, I know that you have obstacles to overcome and things of that nature, and there are people out there who aren't as supportive as you would hope they would be. But what shining light or surprised you and thought, oh wow, that's really cool. I never expected that.
That's a good question. I'm really not sure about that. You stumped me on that question. Something that surprised me. I'm not sure. I can't think of a moment like that right now. I don't think I've had that moment yet.
Okay, well, that might be
because if I did, I think it would have popped into my head automatically.
Yeah, I agree. I think you remember, and sometimes it takes a while before you have that moment. I think, like,
right.
for me, for instance, what surprised me is that I've had some very, very famous guests on my show as well. Dr. Dennis Kimbrough is one of them. He's a best-selling author of several books, but the one that he's most known by is Think and Grow Rich, a Black choice. And what I found from Dr. Kimbrough is that, sometimes we have this expectation of people, what we think they are and who they are. Very seldom do people live up to that. And even rarer is when someone exceeds that. And I found him to be the most genuine person I've ever met, and just the kindest person. And I thought, when it's almost like the more popular people are, at least, the people I've had a chance to interview, they're more generous than some YouTuber who has 5,000 followers and he thinks, oh, I'm it. So
yeah,
and will act like they've already made it. It's like, yeah, they have like, if you're acting like this with 5,000 subscribers, I don't even want to see you. Like, if you get 1 million,
at 1 million, yeah,
you'll be one of those guys that nobody wants to talk to. So,
right. And too, why you're saying that probably doesn't have anything to do with it, but I'm thinking back to my first radio interview in New York City. I was on Sirius XM with DJ K Slay. So DJ K Slay was my first celebrity interview that I did for my show. And I was planning on I was going to do the interview, but he's like, oh, sit down in the chair. So I'm like, okay. So now these guys are coming over, putting headphones on me, fixing mics. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, I didn't know what was happening. And all of a sudden the show starts and I'm sitting next to somebody that wasn't a celebrity before, but is a celebrity now. So, and I'm meeting people. So next thing you know, he's like, oh yeah, I want to talk to Miss Remi Jones about her show. What's your show about? And I'm like, oh my gosh. And he gave me my first radio interview. It was on the spot. It was so shocking. It was so surprising. It was amazing. But while you're talking about things like that, that just for some reason popped into my head. So I just want to say shout out to DJ K Slade.
Very cool.
That's my big brother.
And the thing is like he's smart enough to realize, and it's like you never know who you're going to meet that someday will take off, and those people will remember you when they were nobodies and how you treated them. And so, and you're going to go,
right.
Oh, I wish I'd have been nicer to that person.
Right, that's right. And he's actually an amazing support system. He helped a lot of females and a lot of males get on. Like he's just like me. Like, if you need the help, let me know. If you need this information, let me know. And every single time he invited me to album release parties with different celebrities there. So he's like, Remi, I know you need the content. What are you doing? Come down to New York. He is the most amazing person I ever met in my life. Amazing.
That's cool when you meet people like him that are genuine and that are just, nice people. That's, to me, that just makes it, as far as what you do, and you go, these are the times where I appreciate what I do even more because of people like him.
Like those are the times that make you take a breath of relief, because it's so hard that it's like when people, I'm gonna call it an alley, when people push you into the door and say, get in there. It's like, oh, because I wasn't able to get here if it wasn't for you. It's like a breath of fresh air. It's like a relief because it's so hard to do this. It's so hard. Right.
So for people, especially young women who are coming up and wanting to do what you do, what is a bit of advice that you would give them?
Stay strong, stay prayed up. Don't ever quit, keep pushing. You're going to run into a lot of people that's going to tell you no. People are going to slam doors in your face, but there's always going to be somebody that says yes.
There you go. Yes.
You might get 2,000 no's, but 2001, you might get the yes. So, and that yes is going to put you on a higher level, because once you do this, then you do this, then you do this.
Right. And I'm glad you brought that up, because one of the things I think that I learned long ago is that it never hurts to ask. The worst they can do is say no. So how I got Dr. Kimbrough on my show, for instance, I just simply asked, and he said yes. And I was shocked. I was completely shocked, but I was so grateful for that. And and I knew that if the worst thing could happen is he would say no, and I would come back in a few years and ask him again. But he said yes, just simply because I had the courage to ask. So you're right. Just keep asking, even if you've been through 2,000 of them, somebody's going to say yes.
And keep working too, because people love to see you working. If you're just starting out, it's going to be hard to get those type of interviews. But if they keep seeing you working, you're persistent, somebody's going to tell you, somebody's going to love the show and say, I love that show.
Exactly. So where can people find you? Where can they find Remi TV? What's the easiest way that people could contact you?
You could contact me through my website. It's www.remitvmedia.com. For those who can't catch my show locally, if you're out of state, I will be uploading all my new episodes to my website, as well as YouTube. So, but once you go on my website, you'll be able to get all the links and stuff like that.
Okay, great.
To get directly to the content.
So if they want to watch on YouTube, they can just click on YouTube, go to your website and then that link. Okay, excellent.
Yep.
And I'll make sure to provide the link to your website as well. So.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Remi, thank you. I want to say this. When you get to be as big as Oprah, remember me.
I'm going to remember you. And when I come to Florida, you have to show me around.
I will. I'll show you around. We'll go to
take me to all the good food places. The good food.
all the good food places are in Epcot. I'm joking.
And Epcot,
Yeah, yeah. You know the park the Disney park, Epcot. It's
I never been though.
it has all these different countries. Like it has Mexico and China and Norway and Italy and France and England. You can go to all these different countries and they have real food from that country cooked by people from that country. Now I don't know what's going on since the pandemic. So because they used to have people from like if the Norwegian pavilion, they would have Norwegians who operated it and worked there and things. So and same with France, Italy, and the rest of them. So I'm not sure what they're doing since the pandemic though. So I'll have to check.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to come up there with some money because I need you to take me all through all that stuff.
Oh, I could, yeah. And Orlando's not cheap. So
Yeah, I heard.
well, I'd love to have you come down. Well, I'll definitely show you around for sure.
Yes, I would love to come out there and show me where the beaches are. Show me where all that good stuff is. All the clothing stores, like all that stuff.
Yeah, I can do that. I can, especially the beaches. I used to be a lifeguard back in many moons ago, and on probably the best beach on the East Coast, and I loved it over there. So yeah.
So you know how to swim? I don't know how to swim. I'll drown.
I know how to swim, but I'd be lying if I said I know how to surf. I can stand up for. That's about it. Never much.
Oh wow! You know what else I want to do when I go to Florida?
What's that?
I want to go on a jet skis.
Oh, those are fun. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I always wanted to do that, but I'm scared I'm gonna fall off because I can't swim or nothing. So
okay, well you would have a vest on anyway that keeps you afloat. So
okay.
you have a kill switch or a kill key that wraps around your wrist. So if you fell off, it would shut the thing off so it doesn't take off on you with a jet ski. So
all right, so that's what we're doing when I come.
that sounds like fun. Yeah, you should come down before it gets hot though, because right around June and July it starts getting blistering hot. So you want to come down yeah, it's even tomorrow it's going to be 86 degrees. So
oh yeah. Yeah, and I heard that you
February.
guys got bugs like this big,
Uh,
like flying stuff, like crazy stuff.
not like in the city, but out in the woods and stuff. There's I remember there's a place in just south of New Smyrna Beach and between Canaveral Beach, and there was nobody, like there's no houses or anything out there, and they had mosquitoes like that big out there. Yeah, you can't you can't go out there at night.
And you know what else I heard? That you guys, because I'm not saying you, but I'm just saying you guys, because you're over there.
Right.
Alligator. Fried
Everywhere.
alligator.
Oh yeah, have you never?
Is it good?
It's good. Yeah.
Oh,
the tail is good.
The tail.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But
I'm scared. I'll try it.
Here's the thing about alligators. If there's water, there's an alligator. I mean, people have woken up going out because I have a pool in my backyard. People going out in their backyard and seeing an alligator in their pool. So yeah, it's
how is it getting in?
They're just, for as big as they are, they can slide in things rather easily. You wouldn't think being that big they could, but they get in quite easily. They're on golf courses all the time and stuff. You just have to be careful.
Oh no, I think I don't think I'm moving to Florida. Alligators in the pool.
They're in every lake, every pond. They're
but that's why they're frying them and cooking them, because there's too many.
They were endangered at one point, but now they populate like rabbits, and so now
I'm gonna have to bring a bat with me or something.
Just don't go into the fresh water, that's all. But even in the salt water, like there's inlets. So like you'll have alligators that are in the river because we have this murky salt. I don't know why I can't think of the word right now, but it's salt and fresh water combined. So you'll have alligators in there, and then what will happen is they'll swim through the inlet and they'll swim to the ocean. Well, now because of the salt water, they can't see, and so they'll come up on shore on the beach. It doesn't happen
on the beach. No, 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 no.
It doesn't happen often, but it has happened. So
no, no. I'll be a snack to the alligator. They're gonna be like, oh, that's our skinny one right there. Get her. I want the bone piece.
We'll take you to Disney where they have the water parks. There's no alligators there. So, all
right, cool. Take me, and I want to meet Minnie Mouse, Mickey. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Tinkerbell for sure.
Yes,
you know,
definitely. They have this.
Take me to get a hot dog. There. Yeah, take me to go get a hot dog. You know.
All right, we'll do that.
Sounds like a plan. That sounds like a plan.
Well, Remi, listen, thank you so much for taking the time out after a long day and joining me. And I really appreciate it. And it was such a pleasure talking with you. And I wish you all the best success in the world. I know that it will happen for you and is happening for you because you're just a good person and you have the drive and determination that it takes and the mindset. And that's, that's what you need. So.
And thank you. I appreciate you having me on the show.
It was my
I had a good time.
Well, listen, thank you and take care. And folks, thank you for joining us this evening. Actually, it'll probably be the daytime when you listen to it, but it's night. So, but anyway, until next time, take care, be safe, love yourself so you can love others. Bye.
Right.